You think China is powerful because of its giant factories and massive army, right? Wrong. That's not even the real story. China's real power comes from a secret financial system that let it build an entire empire faster than anyone in history. We're talking about a machine so powerful it looked unstoppable. But the same machine that built China is now about to break. It created a secret debt bomb so big it could wreck the entire global economy, and it's about to go off. For years, China was building entire cities out of thin air, connecting the country with super-fast trains and pulling hundreds of millions of people out of poverty. It looked like a miracle, but it wasn't. It was a machine built for one thing: insane growth, no matter the cost. To get how this machine works, you need to forget everything you know about economics. China doesn't just print money. That's too simple. They built a system that controls every single dollar. It's a perfect loop with 3 insane parts. Part 1, a gigantic pile of cash. Chinese families save more money than almost anyone on earth. This isn't an accident. The government set it up so people have to save like crazy. This creates a giant piggy bank the government can use whenever it wants. Because the money is all internal, China doesn't have to worry about foreign investors panicking and pulling their money out. Part 2, the banks are all government controlled. And this is where it gets crazy. The government doesn't print money, it just tells its banks where to point a massive fire hose of cash. Want to build the world's biggest electric car company? Boom! The banks give them billions. Need to create a new tech industry? The banks flood it with money. It's literally using loans as a cheat code for world domination. The third and final part is a giant wall around their money called capital controls. In most countries, if things get shaky, investors pull their money out and the whole thing collapses. But China makes it almost impossible to take large amounts of money out of the country. This 3-part system is China's secret recipe: insane savings, government-controlled banks, and a fortress wall of capital controls. It let them build an empire at a speed no one has ever seen before. They didn't just build skyscrapers, they built giant companies to take over the world. It was like they found an infinite money glitch for their economy. For a while, it seemed like nothing could stop them. But here's the twist. The machine had a fatal flaw. The fuel that made it run was debt. And the miracle was actually just a mountain of borrowed money. Now the cracks are showing, and they are massive. The first crack is insane. Local governments needed to show growth to get promoted, so they had to build. But they were banned from borrowing money directly, so they created thousands of secret, off-the-books companies to borrow trillions of dollars. These are called local government financing vehicles, or LGFVs. It was a secret credit card for the entire country with no limit. But when the property market they bet on started to crash, the whole thing fell apart. Suddenly, they couldn't pay back the money, and a ticking time bomb just got a lot louder. The second crack is the biggest property bubble in history. For Chinese people, an apartment wasn't just a place to live. It was their life savings, their stock market, and their retirement plan. With their money trapped in the country, real estate was the only way to get rich. People bought 2, 3, even 4 empty apartments because everyone believed prices would go up forever. But then the government literally popped the bubble itself. They brought in a new rule, the 3 red lines, that stopped developers from borrowing like crazy. Instantly, giant companies like Evergrande went bankrupt. Construction on millions of prepaid homes just stopped, and for the first time ever, prices started to fall. Up to 70% of a family's wealth was in real estate, and people's life savings were just evaporating overnight. And the third crack is something called shadow banking. This is the Wild West of Chinese finance. When the main banks were told to slow down, these guys, basically loan sharks in suits, jumped in, giving out risky, high-interest loans to anyone. This poured even more gasoline on the fire, adding another terrifying layer of risk. These aren't 3 different problems. It's one giant disease, an economy addicted to an insane amount of debt. And this isn't just numbers on a screen anymore. This is real. It's creating actual ghost cities and zombie companies. First, let's talk about these zombie companies. These are companies that are completely broke. They don't even make enough money to pay the interest on their loans. In any other country, they'd be gone. But in China, the government keeps them alive on life support just to hide unemployment. They are literally ghosts in the system, sucking up money that could be going to new, innovative companies and dragging the whole economy down. And then you have the ghost cities. We're talking about entire districts of empty apartment towers and deserted malls. Trillions of yuan were spent building things that no one uses. They are giant, concrete statues of wasted money. But wait, if they pumped so much money into the economy, why wasn't there insane inflation? This is a crucial piece of the puzzle. The money didn't go to normal people to buy stuff. It was all funneled into assets, like buildings and apartments. So it didn't make your groceries more expensive. It created a colossal asset bubble. The crazy thing is, the biggest monster hiding under the bed today isn't inflation, it's deflation, the exact opposite. As property prices fall, people feel poorer and stop spending. Businesses see demand falling and stop investing. It's a death spiral that could lead to a lost decade of no growth, just like what happened in Japan. The amount of debt is almost impossible to understand. Some estimates put China's total debt at over 300% of its entire economy. The secret debt from local governments alone might be as big as everything China produces in a year. An economy this big doesn't need to explode to shake the world. It just has to trip. So here's the billion-dollar question. Is Beijing pulling off a controlled demolition, or have they completely lost control of the machine? Is this the beginning of the end for China's economic miracle? I want to know what you guys think in the comments. And if you want to understand the hidden forces shaping our world, subscribe right now, because you won't want to miss what's coming next. This is the final showdown, the all-powerful Chinese government versus a mountain of debt so big it's immovable. Can the same system that built the engine now defuse the bomb? Beijing is not just sitting around. Its crisis playbook is completely different from the West's. Their number one rule is postpone the consequences. The government can literally order banks to roll over bad loans, stopping companies from going bankrupt. They can engineer debt swaps, moving toxic debt onto the central government's more stable accounts. Basically, they can suppress the explosion. They can stop a Lehman Brothers moment. They can buy themselves more time. But there's a huge price for this. Kicking the can down the road doesn't make the can disappear. Keeping zombie companies alive means new, innovative companies get starved of cash, and the whole economy slows down, guaranteeing lower productivity. This is the Japan-style trap, where an economy stagnates for years. And this is all happening at the worst possible time. China is facing a perfect storm. Its population is rapidly aging, meaning a smaller workforce and higher social costs, and growing tension from the West threatens the exports China desperately needs. This is China's historic crossroads. The financial engine that made them a superpower is now choked by its own debt. Beijing's powerful tools can stop a sudden heart attack, but they haven't cured the disease. The ultimate endgame isn't about if China can avoid a crisis. The crisis is already here. You can see it in the empty apartments, the struggling local governments, and the shattered confidence of the people. The only real question is what form it will take. Will it be a slow, grinding decay that leads to a lost decade? Or can Beijing pull off its most audacious feat yet and completely re-engineer its entire economic model? The financial engine that made China seem unstoppable has now become its greatest vulnerability. They didn't break the laws of economics, they only postponed them for a while. The bill is now coming due.